How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.
Insane. Sunrisers, welcome back. We've been expecting you. Sometimes we expect and we build up and there's an anticlimax when we actually witness the game. Not in the case of the team that finished second to KKR, but my goodness, what a start they've had to IPL 2025. One short of levelling that 287 against RCB last year, 286 at halftime in Hyderabad against the Rajasthan Royals. So, on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout. How bad were Matthew Hayden, Piyush Chawla and Matt Roller with pre-match predictions? 180, 190, 200. It's an insult to the Sunrisers.
Close, but no chocolate.
Unbelievable, Hedos. Unbelievable.
Well, we said it. Setting, new dimensions to the way sides go about setting a big total. I mean, just fearless cricket right from ball one. Head, Abhishek, they were amazing again.
Yeah.
I mean, we were just wondering at the halfway point, 135 for 2, and our predictions were looking nothing but abysmal.
Yeah, you had to wait for a second to just get a polished word. And it's not just who we expected from last year, but you spent enough time with Ishan Kishan. It's like a virus now, and a good one to catch. You go into that setup.
Well, it does spread, when you go to a team and you see the atmosphere of the team, the culture of the team, the template which they have set, and he adapted it beautifully. He went in there, the way he started, he was under a lot of pressure because you can see that in his celebration as well, because he was not getting those runs in the domestic cricket, and as Hedos mentioned in the pre-show that he was due for runs because he didn't have that great IPL. But what a knock he has played, he come in, the way he hammered everyone in every corner of the ground, that was really treat to watch.
Yeah, I thought we'd be breaking down the squads after the auction, Matt. We thought, Kishan at 3, outside the power play, we might not see the best of Kishan. I think that's his first 100.
Yeah, it was. And also, what a great thing for Sunrisers. If you think one of their few problems, the only problem probably with their batting last year was the number 3 spot, where they had 6 different guys doing it. They eventually settled on Rahul Tripathi come the playoffs, but it was the one area where people were talking, they need someone there who can actually carry on what the openers are doing. And he's very much in the same mould. Another left-hander, 3 left-handers at the top, and all just going absolutely mad, really. I think, you look at the way that innings was constructed. They scored 125 in the middle overs in that 10-over block, which is, again, one of the areas where they struggled a little more last year.
He says, just feeling good. I was hoping for the century. The team is doing well, and the environment is very different. Very different from MI. Only one man can add some.
Well, how can I tell, because I have never been the part of SRH.
But I think if I can try and interpret, you did say MI was very focused on preparations and they love to plan. Even Raidu was telling us yesterday. SRH seem like, again, it's more the CSK-esque vibe. People are just given a lot more time on their own.
I don't know what is happening behind the scene, because before the game, what you do, what you discuss. But, looking at the team, the atmosphere, every team's culture is different. So he must be enjoying that culture, and it's just one game, and the way he batted. Because I obviously spend a lot of time here, and I really enjoyed the atmosphere and the planning, execution of plans and all that. So it's different for every player. And even when he was, Kishan was with MI, he had a success. It's just like one odd season where you expect player to go little, on low on runs and wickets. So that's really okay, to be honest.
I was a bit disappointed in Nitish Kumar Reddy. He only had a strike rate of 200. Have we ever seen this?
Yep.
In all seriousness, have we ever seen a batting lineup where everyone is 200 and above?
Yeah. You're right. And we're counting one throw fight up to the 6th batter. So Aniket just played 3 balls, but everyone in excess of 200.
I saw Dale Steyn said, actually, he was tweeting the 4 of the second wicket, they should have put Klaasen in ahead of Nitish Kumar Reddy, and if they'd done that, maybe they would have breached 287.
Oh, come on. Because Nitish was just going slowly at 200.
When you do talk about planning from a side, Pat Cummins and that team, you can't have your cake and eat it. You either have complete freedom and an absolute license and a willingness to fall on your sword.
Yep.
Or you have plans, structures, authority. Clearly that they've got that combination right with their batting.
Yep.
Because this is now backing up after last year where they were just comprehensively the best batting team really until the very end.
Yeah.
So they're getting something right in terms of that freedom, that license, that creativity, if you like.
Yeah, I guess even though they must have fallen short and the final was not a contest, you just feel like they believe that we're going to win more than we lose. We keep playing like this. Let's look at Ishan Kishan. They tried 6 different batters last season for the number 3 spot to extend on Matt's point, Haydos. This looks like perfect set at number 3, top 3, making it look even more formidable now.
Yeah, hey, while the sun shines on this venue as well.
Yeah.
You know, we can't just sort of pigeonhole Ishan to play that innings for the rest of the IPL. I mean, it's a long tournament. You're going to get different conditions overhead. Last night in Kolkata, it was quite damp and over prepared the wicket, so it was a little more challenging. So I think the sides that move forward in this tournament will have to adjust. Ishan Kishan won't be able to come out with a strike rate of 220 plus all the time.
I actually want to ask you this, Piyush. If I'm now trying to think whether this might be one of the best things that's happened to Kishan in a way. At MI, there were so many big superstars and whatnot. Over here, SRH are one of the teams that don't have too many Indian superstars. There's some bright young players, and Kishan, where he is in his own career now, could this be a great franchise for him?
100%. And looking at the conditions at SRH, here the conditions are kind of will suit Ishan's batting. In Bombay, when you play, it's like a bouncy wicket, and here it's a proper batting wicket where the ball will come between your knee and hip height, and you can maneuver the bowling. So I think that's something which is good happen for him.
Yeah, or as Haydos would call it, between the ankle and the
yeah, correct. For him, between ankle and shin.
It's just this one on a tee, isn't it?
That's why he got just this much bat towards the end, right? When he brought out the mongoose all those years ago. Right, let's try and spend some time on the Sunrisers. As good as that was from SRH, on the Rajasthan Royals, as good as that was that not the best of bowling we've seen? And let's start with Jofra Archer, Matt, who you said this is a big tournament for. What's he gone for, 76?
Yeah, most expensive figures by any bowler in IPL history in a single match, which is pretty wild, really. And
Jofra Archer, of all people.
Yeah, started horribly. Head really got after him. I was surprised, actually, that he started off over the wicket to him, because he's had a bit of success to him around the wicket in the past, where I think in the Champions Trophy he got a caught and bowled off him from around the wicket, and in the T20 World Cup, similarly last year, knocked him over. But he started over the wicket, got picked up first ball over the leg side, and it kind of got worse from there, really. He was conceding boundaries all the time. He had a beamer, which didn't look like a bowler with any kind of confidence, really. You think how poor he was in that series in India for England against India at the start of the year, and then just looks so far short of his best.
Archer?
Well, he's absolutely spot on, because there are a lot of team who planned for Travis Head, that coming round the wicket and just tuck him up, don't give him that room. When you have planned so many times and you have got success against him doing that, and you're not starting with that, so there's something missing, I feel. And then you expect Jofra Archer to come and deliver, being the head of the bowling department, but as we were discussing, he's not in the best of the form. If the series which we played in India and even in Champions Trophy, he wasn't at the best. So, and as I said, RR bowling looked very...
this is also a big call, because they had Trent Bolt at 12.5, who ended up going Mumbai. They went Archer 12.5. So they decided that Bolt wasn't part of their retentions either. They'd be thinking right now.
Well, they must be thinking, because if you look at their retention, there were quite a few big names which they let go, which they could have retained, and they would have been happily retained there. If you see the spin department also, Tikshana, he bowled with the new ball, but he was not effective at all. And most of the places you're going to get wickets like these. Yeah. And Tikshana is not that kind of a bowler who can spin the ball from nowhere.
They basically retained all batters, didn't they?
Exactly.
Jaiswal, Samson, Parag, Jurel, Hetmeyer. So you had all batting over, then you let go of your bowling. With the way Archer bowled, when he's bowling, not like Piyush, because Piyush landed properly, but he's bowling these back of the hand slow balls and leggies going all over, beamers and whatnot. What does that tell you if you were facing up against bowler of such high reputation? What does that tell you when he's bowling like that?
I'm visualising in my lounge room a cat just chasing its tail. It was just shell shock, right? So got it wrong, got hurt. Went, I've got it wrong, now I've got to go to another option, which then went wrong. So it was compounding mental errors, structural errors in bowling. Something as a batsman is exactly what you want to do. You want to get you thinking about how it is that your next ball is going to unachieve, as opposed to me being under pressure and you going, well, okay, now I've got the ascendancy in this kind of structured over. We forget how structured T20 cricket is.
Yeah.
There's a cunning plan pretty much every ball, but the simplest one is often to a Head and Abhishek Sharma is a corridor ball that's just not necessarily even hitting the stumps, but just in a certain area. Going both sides of the wicket, I'm not sure I've seen a poorer bowling performance than that in the IPL.
Yeah.
That was right up there.
And Raunak, just to build on your point as well, he's meant to be the attack leader, really. If you look at how they've structured it with one overseas batter and 3 overseas bowlers, the other two, Faruqi and Tikshana, are both 24, Archer's 29, played 160 T20 games. He should be prime of the career guys leading that attack. So, pretty chastening start, and one he needs to try and draw a line under as best he can.
I mean,
The good news is Nitish Rana went for under 10 and over.
And how many overs?
You're
he has
picking
bowled?
up these gems, aren't you?
I'm just
And how
loving
many
this.
overs he has
I
bowled?
was-
He just bowled the one over,
I
but
was
at least he
actually-
was under 10.
I was actually surprised that Riyan Parag didn't bring himself on ahead of Nitish Rana,
yeah.
but also it must have been a really tough day for a young captain. Whether they missed Sanju Samson, a more experienced captain and all this.
It's not a tough day, I would say. When something like these are happening, captains are okay. Let the 20 overs get over then.
All right. Well, there you have it. I mean, if this is something to expect from the Sunrisers for the rest of the season, we're happy and ready for it. But did you I know it's easy to get affected by 1-1 game, but RR, is this a worrying sign for them, looking at the resources they have?
Going forward in the tournament, bowling is a big worry for them.
I mean, this is their best bowling, isn't it? They put all their best bowlers
and
together.
I think
Maybe Hasaranga.
Hasaranga would have been a still better option, because with the wrist spinner, I'm not being partial, but you have got more variations, still more chances of picking up wickets. Because if you want to stop this kind of a batting lineup, you have to pick up wickets, because everyone is going for runs. But if you pick up wickets, that will become little easier for the captain.
So is there intel on that? Have we got anything
On
why he
Rawanindu?
wouldn't be? Yeah.
Nothing. We
There's
have very little.
no news of an injury or anything that
No.
they've said, at least at this stage, which seems so strange to have picked in
Yeah.
as seemingly your frontline spinner. And
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to think of the Archer point leading the pack. I can almost bet if MI were playing SRH, there's no way Bumrah doesn't start with Bolt to him. You know, doesn't come in 5-6 overs later. You just have to give your best spin, or Stark has to bowl to Travis Head when Delhi play them. Right, the chase. RCB did get close, didn't they, in that 280 game? They got 260.
Has to be perfect, right? I mean, it has to be an above average power play with 0 wickets lost. As soon as you see any wickets in that column in the power play, it's going to be a losing cause.
They had also heavily relied on the Indian batting that they retained here. This is as tough a challenge for them to start with.
Well, all the Indian batters, if you say they are a proper stroke maker, you talk about Yashasvi or Sanju Samson, Riyan Parag had a brilliant season, but sometimes chasing 287, you have to hit right from the first ball till the last ball. Only then you will be able to make it. When you're chasing a score like this, and 2 quiet over also, and quiet over here I mean by under 10 run also, you are under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Could you give Adam Zampa a better game to start?
beautiful, isn't it? Everyone's going to be trying to hit every ball out of the park, and that's exactly when he's at his best, really. Just target the top of off stump.
Yeah. Cricket for win probability for the Sunrisers Hyderabad, 98%. Just putting that there before. I think you can use the assistants now for your predictions. You don't need assistants for this one, but who knows? Will they even get close? Can they get to maybe 230, 240? And remember, net run rate. Never underestimate net run rate in the IPL. Let's get predictions, Piyush Chawla.
Oh my goodness.
You want me to start the prediction?
Yes, sir.
200.
Okay, that's not the worst result.
Yeah.
87 runs is still big.
Yeah, but 200.
200, okay.
I reckon they'll get to 220. They need to manage the net run rate, though. You're right. You can't start with a 150 run loss, because it puts you on the
that
back foot
could
for
be-
the rest of the comp.
That could be so damning. You could sometimes don't recover from those.
Should I predict that?
Hey, Dos, go for it, mate.
Well, 180,
180, 100 run defeat.
100 run defeat. I think that's a possibility today. I just feel that
They might have already sort of
they're
been
just
rattled.
shot. They're
Yeah,
just shot
yeah.
today. They'll be what Bushy was saying before. Just like, let's just get this day over.
Yeah.
This is where you just feel like if you had Josh Butler in the dugout like last year, at least you've got international banker who will come out, and that's big expectation from these guys. Right, Haydos, Piyush, Matt, thank you very much. We pick up the chat at the end of this game. Let's hope, for the Royals' sake, that at least it's reasonably close. Who knows? No one's predicting a Royals win here. It's 98% cricket for win probabilities with the Sunrisers. You can understand that. We build up to the small matter of CSK and MI as well. So join us for Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout.
How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.